Number of visitors to attractions in the Western Cape has increased significantly in May of 2023 compared to the previous year. It's an awful number of people that are making their way down to the mother city, enjoying all the sights, the sounds, and of course the great weather as well. It's all according to the province's monthly report. Let's bring in the Minister of Finance and Economic, I beg your pardon, MEC of Finance and Economic Opportunities, Mireille Wenger, making time for us this morning. Sorry, Mireille, I suddenly turned you into a minister without you even knowing about it. Sorry about that. MEC, of course, joining us this morning. So just give me the numbers. I mean, we're seeing some astonishing jumps, 54% if I read correctly.
That's right. We're seeing a 54% growth in the number of visitors to attractions in the Western Cape. That's a 54% increase compared to May last year. And this just shows from the stats that we're seeing coming out of Westgrow, our official trade promotion and tourism agency, that not only is it the attractions, but also the number of visitors coming to our shores. So this is very good news because it really means that tourism is well and truly back. And we're absolutely delighted because more tourists mean more jobs.
Now, of course it does, which is always the main objective for any tourism economy as well. Are we at a point, though, at the moment, Mireille, where we can start having a new base rate, a post-COVID base rate? Because everything compared to 2020 up to possibly the end of the lifting of the various lockdown stages was still relatively low, of course, because of tourism. Are we back at the sort of numbers we had pre-COVID?
That's right. So for the last few months, we've seen over 100% recovery rate based on 2019 numbers. So I think you're absolutely right. We can now start benchmarking outside of the pandemic because tourism is now fully recovered in the Western Cape, in particular when it comes to international tourists, as well as tourism at our attractions. The only thing that's lagging still is domestic arrivals through the airport, and that's obviously because of availability of flights. But I think, we'd probably see a similar trend if there weren't as many constraints in the domestic flight industry.
Yeah, if we had a couple of more aircraft in the air and some more airlines, that would probably make a big difference as well. Mireille, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you to put the finance part of your MEC title on for a second. So you spoke there is a creation of jobs. I would like details on how many the expectation is on jobs. What is this doing for local economy? What is the money looking like?
Well, I mean, it is a fantastic economic driver. We saw in Q4 of the last financial year, tourism being a major contributor to new jobs in the province, where we saw about 99% of net new jobs created in the country were in the Western Cape. And that is mainly attributed to the strong recovery in the tourism sector. The tourism sector employs hundreds of thousands of jobs across the value chain, from the culinary side to transport to the attractions themselves. So a major boost for the economy, for the Western Cape and also for South Africa. So we're doing everything we can to increase the number of visitors. So that would be on things like we're working hard on air access and air connectivity so more people can get to our destination. We have an air access team based in Westgrow in partnership with the city government and the private sector. And we've seen a number of new airlines and air routes coming into the Western Cape. Just last night, we saw the announcement of a direct flight from Cape Town to Sao Paulo by SAA. But we've also seen flights to Belgium, to Eswatini, to Lusaka, to Maputo, and to the United States. We now have 13 direct flights between Cape Town and the United States per week. So all of these efforts do ultimately contribute to being able to get more visitors to the Western Cape.
Mireille, thank you very much indeed for making time for us. So very, very good news. You can hear how all the plans are coming together as well. It is good news. There's always a good news story when it comes to tourism at the moment. It was one of the hardest hit sectors, wasn't it, during the COVID-19 pandemic. But it is the Western Cape, which is a good story to tell, if I can steal a line from one of our political parties. But the Western Cape itself seems to be doing particularly well at the moment. 54% up in May when compared year on year to last year's May as well. So my thanks to the Western Cape MEC of Finance and Economic Opportunities, Mireille Wenger, joining us this morning.